Kia ora koutou. I'll begin by thanking those members who have spoken in favour of this bill, particularly the Labour and the Māori Party spokespeople, demonstrating their forward-thinking, progressive nature of those two parties. It must be said of some of the opposition comments that they have damned with faint praise, recognising that many of the benefits we're proposing for the installation of the smart meters are in fact very real, but nevertheless choose to vote against offering consumers choice. There seems to be a strange phenomenon around electricity prices. In years when the hydro lakes are dry, we're told the power must go up. In years when they're full, the power price must go up. We bring in more renewables, the electricity prices go up. When we fire up the old coal burning stations, there seems to be some strange economic alchemy that demands electricity prices must continue to rise. This bill would not be the entire solution to electricity pricing, managing that, but it would be one significant and very positive step towards giving consumers the ability to manage their usage and to cut their costs. It's a great shame that the government tonight is demonstrating its failure to protect householders from rising electricity prices by voting against this very sensible and very timely bill. It's ironic that the two political parties who pride themselves on being advocates for choice are in fact voting against a proposal which would enhance and offer consumers more choice in this very critical area of energy in the household. Consumers are indeed paying for the rollout of these new meters, the meters that are currently being rolled out. Consumers are stuck with paying for a technology from which they cannot benefit. And that to me would have seemed to be at odds with at least the professed beliefs of the two parties so far opposing this bill. We've heard much objection that it's too soon, that we mustn't get ahead of the game in terms of putting this technology in place before it's proven, before it's certain. In fact, that belies the reality. This is not new technology. It's well-proven technology. In fact, it is mandated in Victoria, the state of Australia, and indeed in parts of the United States. We are told we must catch up with Australia, but suddenly the government seems entirely reluctant to adopt a technology that is proving its worth in Australia, that has been adopted there for all the reasons that we are proposing it would be appropriate to adopt it here. For a party that speaks a great deal about innovation and advancing New Zealand's economy, there seems to be a remarkable reluctance to innovate and to take not even a risk, but simply to display some leadership, to demonstrate a willingness to accept that time has moved on. And I must thank Mr Cheval for his very appropriate comments that this is the iPod generation. We no longer content ourselves only with the 78 records, which this government seems satisfied to do. There has been some mention of smart appliances, and one spokesperson suggested that they hoped that in their lifetime they would see smart appliances. I'm not putting words in Fisher Paykel's mouth. I'm not suggesting they are coming out in support of this bill necessarily. I spoke to one of their technical people a few days ago who assured me that technically, in terms of electronic design, development, they could have smart appliances on the market within 18 months. All they require is confidence, the surety of the standard. Essentially, all they need to light the fuse, to make New Zealand manufactured smart appliances available is an assurance of a standard. A very, very slight, a minor regulatory step, and that's what we seem the government is unwilling to adopt tonight. 18 months is a very short time in the scheme of things, and that's how long it would take. Not 10 years, not a lifetime. Overall, the objections from the government have been to the effect, quite niggling objections, that it's too soon, that the bill is imperfect. Of course it's imperfect. I doubt if there's a member bill has ever come to this House that is not required or that could not be improved by appropriate attention from a select committee, and it's very disappointing this government will not allow that process to proceed. What will come out of this debate is that New Zealanders will note which parties were willing to stand up and support the interests of the consumers and which parties were not there to support the consumers' best interest. Kia ora koutou.